All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Minnesota Vikings in today's video. Now, JJ McCarthy will unfortunately undergo surgery this week for a meniscus injury. Sources are saying the surgery will determine how long he will miss, but it appears, Sam Darnold is definitely going to be the week one starter. A meniscus trim seems to be about a 4 to 6 week recovery. So obviously, once again, Sam Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in week one of the regular season. This really sucks. I believe if it is a tear, he's going to be out 4 to 6 months. So you'd probably see no J. I'm not a doctor. I don't even really want to say this, but I don't know if we would see any JJ McCarthy at any point this upcoming season. I do just want to say, and obviously this is the most unfortunate timing, 11 to 17, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 188 yards. He had a quarterback rating of like 115.8, 116.8. He did a phenomenal job. I thought he looked really good. He, I guess, did injure it in that game. But folks, Sam Darnold also looked good. And, we're going to try and make light of this because at the end of the day, you don't want anybody at any position, ever in any sport to get injured, especially in preseason football. Rookie, man, it really sucks. The 10th round, first round draft pick. Let's dive through it because we're gonna try and find some positives here. Because folks, when I first saw this, once again, by the time even some of you guys watch this in a couple of days, we'll probably know the severity of the injury. You just don't know until mid-surgery. So welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Minnesota Vikings in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Vikings fans, you absolutely blessed my last video. If we could try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So Sam Darnold, real quick, has had a really impressive training camp. He went 4-8 this past weekend against the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of those were drops. The incompletions were drops. He did a really fine job. And on paper, the Vikings would still, Sam Darnold starting quarterback. You'd still have Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, who we're going to talk about in just a second, who's been getting so much hype. You got Josh Oliver, Brandon Powell, Johnny Munt. There's a lot of Trent Sherfield. There's a lot of talent on this team, Tristan Jackson. And at the end of the day, when JJ was originally drafted, the thought process was kind of, the Vikings are going to take a long-term approach, right? That's why Sam Darnold was signed before the draft for whoever, if they take quarterback, well, at least you have, a proven starting quarterback. And by proven, no, I know he's not an MVP. I know he's not a Super Bowl champion. But Sam Darnold is a very adequate, above average quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. Head coaches, guys like Kyle Shanahan, KOC, now they love him. They love him. He's a really talented player. Folks, when you get drafted and you're starting for the Jets and then you're going to Carolina, I mean, you really have a hard uphill climb because those two teams, the last 10 years or so, offensively, it's just been an absolute nightmare. But once again, the point or the thought, like we've been discussing this and we've been debating this all offseason is, is JJ even going to be ready to start in week one? So obviously the injury completely sucks. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope JJ McCarthy only misses 4 to 6 weeks. Once again, that does make things a little bit interesting because, it's not like JJ McCarthy had the starting quarterback job, and it's not like he outright won it in the first preseason game. So we've only seen JJ play 30 NFL snaps. It was 30, right? 30 NFL snaps. So if JJ does miss 4 to 6 weeks, I don't know if we would see him until, the Vikings are kind of, drifting towards missing out on the playoffs. Hopefully, obviously, that doesn't happen for my Vikings fans watching this video, but it is what it is. Another good news thing is, JJ's only 21 years old. If he's missing the first couple of months of the season or first couple of weeks, the good news is he's still able to sit and watch Sam Darnold and, learn, get a better understanding of the playbook, get a better understanding from Sam Darnold. So it would give him a chance to just, kind of learn, absorb while he gets healthy. I'm a Packers fan, as you guys know that. I'm so sorry I say that in every Vikings video I make. But, our starting quarterback, Jordan Love, was on the bench for his first 3 seasons in the NFL. So it's unideal. I guess, they did have A-Rod, but it was a little bit different. But you get what I'm saying. Long term, just zoom out. Zoom out, let's relax, and let's think long term because that was the thought process heading in to the season, anyways. All right. Another thing that really just kind of sucks is I just saw a report that an ESPN guy suggested TJ Hawkinson may be out until early November. There have been a numerous amount of reports saying TJ Hawkinson is ahead of schedule in his recovery, but I think it was kind of a given that he's most likely going to miss the first couple of weeks of the season. Um, in the latest training camp notes report, ESPN reporter Dan Graziano said that he's heard reports of anywhere between 3 and 7 games missed for the recovering tight end. So let's look at who's going to be stepping up in the wake of JJ's injury and the wake of TJ Hawkinson's injury. First off, folks, Aaron Jones is a phenomenal dual threat, versatile running back. And if he can just stay healthy, you're going to absolutely freaking love my former running back. Ty Chandler is such an intriguing young player as well. He really came onto the scene at the end of last season for you guys, more so in the last month when he was finally given the starting running back nod. He's coming off a really solid game, 7 rushes, 33 yards against a great Raiders front 7. And then the receiving game is so intriguing to me because Sam Darnold could be throwing it to him. JJ could be throwing to him. Jared Hall actually kind of seems like he's about to get cut. I know we saw Nick Mullins last season, so thankfully they have Sam Darnold. But my point is, the Vikings are still going to be a competitive, relevant team, even with these injuries. And once again, even now that I say this out loud, like Sam Darnold was kind of expected to be the starter, but I think guys like me, I was just kind of thinking if JJ does his thing in preseason, they're going to have to give him the nod. But we've seen a lot of cats on this roster really make a name for himself. Jalen Naylor's coming off a really solid game, 3 catches, 63 yards. He averaged 21 yards per catch. I believe his nickname over at Michigan State was Speedy. He's had one of the best training camps of any Vikings player from all the reports, all the journalists, all the guys on the field that we've been hearing, the coaching staff, the players, all of it. Jalen Naylor has had the best training camp, or at least one of the best training camps. They keep raving about him. And if he can stay healthy, he will be your wide receiver number 3. And then you got Trent Sherfield, who had 3 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. And then you had Tristan Jackson, 4 catches, 100 yards and a touchdown. And we haven't even mentioned Jordan Anderson's name at any point in this video. The Vikings offense on paper looks absolutely freaking juiced. And I'm telling you, the defense with Brian Flores to me, and I think this will be more widely remembered at the end of this season, Brian Flores, to me, is one of the best defensive head coaches in the NFL, or sorry, defensive coordinators in the NFL. What they were able to do, moving on from Danielle Hunter and bringing in Jonathan Greenard, bringing in Andrew Van Ginkel, bringing in Dallas Turner, who had a beautiful debut on Saturday. I'm excited about the defense. I'm excited about the offense. This is really unfortunate news, but as long as it's not a tear and as long as he doesn't miss 4 to 6 months, this is completely fine. Or at least to me. Obviously, there is, injuries suck, but we'll talk about that when it comes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Give me your thoughts on J.J. McCarthy's injury down below. Peace.